Hi, everybody. Welcome to Match Preview and TFC HQ all combined in one. Maria Papadakis alongside Gareth Wheeler. Now, Gareth, big week for some of the Reds. Michael Bradley was called up to the U.S. men's national team, and Sebastian Giovinco was called up to the Italian men's national team. What big news for them.
Well, absolutely, especially for Sebastian Giovinco. It's been a long 3 years since he last represented his country, and so much has happened. Let's rewind to 3 years ago when he assisted set up a goal against Norway. He came back the day later, and the question was, will he or will he not play against the New York Red Bulls right there at BMO Field? He came on as a late substitute, and he cemented it. He sealed it in one of the great moments in Toronto FC history, scoring an incredible goal and helping Toronto FC qualify for their first playoff spot in club history.
Now, for Michael Bradley, there was some talk that he might not go back, but now he is back with the men's national team. So what does it mean for him as a player knowing he has a spot on the squad?
Well, so it was a matter of time for him to rejoin the setup, and this is a good time for him as well. And there's some very good young players in that U.S. men's national team, and Bradley's going to help lead the way. And I think it's important to note that this comes in a very busy time for Toronto FC, and he made no ifs, ands, or buts about it that if TFC is still mathematically alive for playoff contention, that he will play that second game, or will miss the second game for the U.S. men's national team, and he will be there playing for Toronto FC against DC United on October 17th.
Now let's just touch on the Canadians that were brought to the Canadian men's national team. Big call up for them as well, to St. Ricketts, Jonathan Osario, and the rest, as you know.
Jay Chapman and Ashton Morgan was left out last time. This time he's in. You got to feel good for Ash. That's the position at left back, which is there for the taking. We'll see if Ashton Morgan can make an impression. And look, the game's going to be played here in Toronto, BMO Field, October 16th against Dominica. You got to get the Toronto boys out there, and it's a great opportunity for each and one of them to stake their claim in John Herdman's team.
Well, for more on the team after training today, let's hear from the guys.
I'm doing great. Personally, of course, for TFC it's been a tough year, but personally I think I'm doing great, so I'm happy to be back with the national team.
You know, we've had a busy year here, and all my attention and focus and commitment has been to trying to first get us through Champions League, and now see if we can get things turned around here. But now when the opportunity comes back to go in with the national team and to represent my country, then it's something that you don't have to think twice about.
Very happy for him again. I think in all his time here, he's proven for me to be the best player probably to ever come through this league. He's continued to keep his level up. He's produced every year. And even in a season that's been challenging for us, he continues to produce because he's added some different elements to his game this year to help us in terms of when we were missing guys. He was helping us to play make, to create, dropping a little deeper, doing lots of things. Happy for Michael. It was just a matter of win. It wasn't a matter of much else other than that. Obviously, the U.S. team has been going through a process, since not qualifying and looking at a bunch of younger players. But at some point, they were going to integrate some of the veteran guys with some of the younger players, and it seems like they're kind of getting into that process now.
Papadakis out, Dunfield's in. Terry Dunfield with us for our match preview. I'm not sure if this is an upgrade, Terry.
Normally it's me coming out and someone else coming in, but look, I got my Mancini scarf in for Giovinco getting the big call-up.
Right on. We'll focus on another former club of yours in the Whitecaps in a moment's time. 5 p.m. at BMO Field, TFC and Vancouver. But the Reds are coming off a very good win, 4-1 over the New England Revolution, arguably their best half of football in the second half against New England. How do they build off that performance, Terry?
Yeah, I thought collectively the boys were really after it. After a difficult start, it would have been easy to feel sorry for yourself with Altidore having to come off conceding early, but the boys really trusted in how they play, and there was also some great individual performances. I thought Giovinco was excellent. Hansen, he came on with a point to prove. Osorio again at it, and Vasquez was pulling the strings.
So Toronto FC wants to build off that. It just seems like now the schedule's kind of evened out. A full week of training. Michael Bradley said this is their best week of training they've had in ages, that this bodes well for a top TFC performance.
Yeah, I think the boys were enjoying it, enjoying their football. They were enjoying operating at BMO, and all TFC can do at this stage of the season is take care of their business. If you look at the games around them this weekend, there's some interesting one. Montreal have got a tough game against Columbus.
Yes.
and then DC, they're home to Chicago, and Chicago just beat LAFC. So hopefully some of the clubs around the league can do TFC a favor.
Yeah, they need some of those teams to do them a solid, but they need to just take care of their own business right now.
Exactly.
I thought pushing Bradley further up the field, that worked. Drew Moore will be out for this game. They're hoping that Moore will be able to play the rest of the run-in of this season, but Josie Altidore was in training, and Greg Vanney believes that he will play a role on Saturday. If you're just a Canadian soccer supporter, you want to come out to BMO Field on Saturday, because this might be your last chance, at least for the foreseeable future, to see Alphonso Davies of the Vancouver Whitecaps play at BMO before he makes that big money move to Bayern Munich. Look, Davies is really the fashionable player, isn't he, Terry, that you really want to come out and see come Saturday?
Yeah, you don't see many players in a generation come through, and Vancouver have done a great job in developing him. He's so much fun to watch. He's become reliable. There's an end product to his game, but the biggest thing that stands out for me is he has this ridiculous Mbappe pace, and watching him break from deeps is in transition is really something to see, and something TFC are going to have to watch out for.
It should be a great game. BMO Field, 5 p.m. on Saturday. It's dinner time, so Terry's going to have a cheeseburger in one hand while watching the game. You know, some fries and milkshake. Is that your diet these days?
Relax. You need to get subbed out.
That's okay. No, you can't. I'm a full 90-minute player here. Looking forward to it. Hope to see you down at BMO Field. If you can't be there, you can watch on TSN and listen on TSN 1050.